Welcome in YouTube. Thank you everybody for joining. Tuesday afternoon, February 5th, 2019. Duty Ron here, retired NYPD detective, checking in on YouTube, seeing how everyone's doing. We're going to talk about a small teaser leading into my first 24 hours as a first responder responding to the World Trade Center attack. I'm going to do a full broadcast about it, but I wanted to get some feedback on what kind of interest there would be in in a broadcast like that. Hello, Joey. Good to see you, my brother. Joey, I'm sorry I missed. Hello, Sweet Dixie. Good to see you. Hello, Mark. Fred, welcome in. Fred Kavanaugh from Rhode Island. What's going on, Fred? Thank you for joining, guys. Hello, Joey. Sorry I missed your broadcast. I was taking a shower. As you guys could see, I don't look like a bum anymore. I'm no longer homeless looking. I got a shower and a shave. So yeah, I watched the replay already. You and Kathy getting out of the car, and it was interesting to see you guys walking around over there. Hello, Nabul. Hello, Terry. Good to see you. First time viewer. Well, thank you so much for joining. Terry, let me know where you're watching from, and thank you for coming on into the broadcast. First-time viewers are always welcome. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button. Hello, Cordy. Good to see you from Oni and Jay and Licious channel. Thank you so much. Meg, great to see you. Hello, Meg in Southern Cal. Good to see you. Nice and clear on YouTube. This is what it's all about. It's a professional broadcast when you're on YouTube. So a big difference between YouTube and Periscope. So great to see you from the great state of Texas. Hello, Carolyn. Welcome in, guys. So here's my shield, and here is my ID from my retired NYPD ID. So I don't know if that's coming across good, but it's an ugly mug, and there it is. I'm holding my finger across the bottom because my social security and date of birth is on there. I don't want to give that away. Don't want to give that away, guys. So social security and date of birth, not something good to show off on YouTube. But anyway, anyways, great to see you. Hello, Jan. So everybody who has sent Super Chat, I've mailed out the PVA cards. Meg, yours is on the way. Yours is on the way too. Hit the like and subscribe. Sassy is in the building. Always great to see Sassy, Sassy, Sassy hanging out. We were in Dutch Maz's broadcast earlier. So... So there we go. Guys, my first 24 hours down at the World Trade Center, I did a broadcast on Periscope about it. I was a police officer, first responder on September 11th. Tuesday, September 11th, I was a first responder off duty and got the notification, actually got woken up by my wife as the first plane hit the building, and I was woken up and immediately dressed and then ran into work. So it was a very hectic day, but one of the hardest things about my day, and this is not a full broadcast about that day, but I just want to give you guys a little teaser into that day, a little teaser about my response. I fully responded to the disaster. I fully responded to the September 11th attack, and I was down there for the whole carnage that ensued thereafter. Jan, thank you so much for the Super Chat. Thank you so much for that. Just to back it up a little bit, and guys, everyone who sends the Super Chat is going to be getting one of my retired, these are my official business cards. There's some police numbers on there that I'm holding the card on. So everybody that sends Super Chat in the next, whatever, couple of weeks that sends out stuff, I'll be mailing out to the house one of my business cards and a commemorative PVA card from our union. So it's just my way of saying thanks to each and every one of you who sent out the Super Chat. So thank you so much for that. So one of the hardest parts of my day, obviously, hello from Michigan. Thank you so much for joining. Great to see you, Marcy. Thank you for repeating the comeback here. I sent a Super Chat the other day, but I didn't get a screenshot. Don't worry, Carolyn, send me your address, send me your name and address, and I'll get it out to you. Don't worry about it. I have a record of the Super Chat, so no worries. So one of the hardest things, let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, if you guys don't mind, please invite onto your social media. Please share out this broadcast. Let's get the message. I'm trying to get this channel to grow. I want to get as many people inside watching these live videos. I'd like to be able to reach replay viewers on the live videos as well. So when we share it to our social media, that's your way of showing appreciation to me and helping me out, getting the message out to some of your people that might be interested in this stuff. So I really, really greatly appreciate that. Anybody else having a buffering situation? I don't have anything on my end. I got about 100 megabytes of upload. Thank you so much, Sweet Dixie. I greatly appreciate that. It's just part of how I operate. I've never been a nasty or stuck-up person. I got really no reason to be. So I've always been kind and, inviting to people. So thank you so much, Jan, for your kind words. A few people are saying that it's buffering. I don't know it to be buffering on my end, but if you guys are saying that, I gotta tend to believe it. So let me just take a peek. I think I'm pretty good here. I'm pretty good. No buffering here. Thank you, Gretchen. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm gonna continue like it's not buffering. I gotta assume that it might be some people who are watching. It does take some bandwidth to actually watch YouTube. So another tidbit for everybody, if you're a viewer and you're watching with a weak signal, if you're a viewer and you're watching the weak signal, Sweet Dixie, that's not necessary, but thank you so much for that. If you're watching with a weak signal, then it could buffer on you. I'm watching, I'm self-monitoring the broadcast, and it's not buffering on my end. And I got some good intel that I have very strong signal. So if the buffering is on your end, then maybe just come in and out. Yes, I responded to the first one as well, Mark. I was on the job and got mobilized to the first World Trade Center bombing in the garage. It was in February. It was very cold, but we were there just for crowd control and to secure the scene. Thank you, Jan, for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. So let me get back on track. This, again, is not a full broadcast about my 24 hours. My first 24 hours is going to be an hour-long broadcast about my first minute to the end of the 24-hour period. Just when I reach home, right here at my house, I went around my backyard into my patio underneath the awning and dressed, took all my clothes off out back. My wife met me with garbage bags, and she put all my clothes in garbage bags because they were covered with white ash from the World Trade Center. I didn't want to bring that toxic stuff into my house, so my wife bagged up all my clothes. We took it to a professional laundromat, and we had it cleaned. But my wife was outside in the backyard, so the beginning of the day to the end of the day, we will do a broadcast in the future. In the near future, I'm going to put a whole production together on my first 24 hours at the September 11th attack on our nation. As a first responder, I have to tell you, I responded with respect and dignity, pride, and no fear. No fear at all. I didn't hesitate 1 second. The call came over for us to all respond in. Every first responder, fire department, paramedic, and police officer was ordered to come in. So I went in. My kids were little. They were taken out of school that early that morning, and I saw them right before I left. And they were tugging at my pant leg and crying. My wife was crying. They all didn't want me to leave. They wanted me to stay with them. And that was the hardest thing that I had to do that whole day. And I got to tell you, there was a lot of tough things that we saw. There was a lot of difficult situations, from people jumping from the building, from people jumping to uncontrollable fires and unable to get to help anybody. Those were very difficult things for a first responder. For people like myself who are in the police, the emergency medical field, the first responder, paramedics, we were helpless. We could not even get close to the location because of the burning fires, and we were basically helpless. We couldn't rescue, we couldn't save, and we were in rescue and save mode, rescue and recovery mode for the first 24 to 48 hours. Once a period of time went by, that was, rescue was out the window, and it was just more of a recovery situation. But the very most difficult thing for me as a father, as a police officer, as a law enforcement professional was to leave my family, because I too, just as all of you didn't know if we were under more attacks, if our country was going to be invaded or attacked, I had to leave my family, and that was the hardest thing during that whole situation in the early goings. That was the hardest thing that I had to deal with. Hello, Debbie Mack. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. So just a little bit of the tidbit, guys, for you on my first 24. I'm going to do a well put together broadcast where we go into some details on some of the things I saw and some of the things that I did during the course of that time. It's not something that is easy to speak about, because there was a lot of difficult situations that were frustrating and really, really tough to process. But we had to get through it, and we had a job to do. We had a job to do. And I got to say, unfortunately, there was a very small amount of fire, police, and paramedics that didn't show up that day. And they were reprimanded and blackballed probably for many years to come. But there were reports of several people who just refused to come in and just stayed with their family. I had to make a difficult decision, and respect and honor was on my priority list on the top. And that was something that I still to this day struggle with, that decision about leaving them, but I knew it was the right thing to do. I still think about it. I think about the what ifs. I think about if I didn't come back. I think about how they were feeling emotionally. My kids were little, they were young, and it was a very, very difficult situation. And I commend my wife for holding things together. It was tough for us to even make communication. There was not a lot of communication from down at the World Trade Center. All the cell towers, everything was disrupted. So it was really, really a difficult situation, difficult at best situation for everybody that was involved. Really, really difficult, guys. Yeah, Joey was down there through the Housing Authority, through his job. Joey was down there, and let me tell you something. It was not an easy thing for him to do either. We commandeered an MTA bus for Cup of Joe. Cup of Joe, as you guys know, is down in Florida, but he is retired from the MTA. And Cup of Joe knows I was department bus qualified. So what that means is I had training in the department bus, how to drive a New York City bus. I was trained in it in the early 90s, so my training jumped in on September 11th as well. I utilized a New York City MTA bus, a New York City bus. I drove it, picked up 75 police officers, and made another trip in and out of Lower Manhattan. On September 11th, we picked up 75 police officers, loaded them into the bus with equipment, and then bussed them in. One of the unbelievable sights that I saw in my first 24 hours was a military tank on the street in front of the New York Stock Exchange. Now, I only wish that I would have taken a picture of that, but it was just too much chaos, too much going on. And back then, we had those flip phones. There was Nextel, the bleep bleeps. I don't know if you guys remember the Direct Connect, I think they were called, the Nextel Direct Connect. And they had pictures, they had a camera, but the cameras weren't great. But I didn't even think to take a picture. I didn't even think to take a picture. I should have. Now that I'm thinking about it, I should have taken a picture, but I didn't take it. So it is what it is. Debbie, I hope all is well with you. I hope you're doing really good. I'm always thinking about you no matter what. I might not communicate with you as much as I want to, but I'm always thinking about you. I'm always thinking about you, Debbie. I remember hearing on the news that communication was down around the whole area. Nextel set up remote mobile sites, cell towers down there, but it took about a day or two for them to do that. So for the first couple of days, it was spotty on communication. I had AT&T at the time. and it was just a total wash. We had nothing. There was no way for us to communicate with anybody. We couldn't make phone calls. So my wife didn't hear anything from me in the first 24 hours. She was here, probably really, really upset. And she had no communication with me whatsoever. So hi, Susan, good to see you, good to see you. I'm glad you're trying, and I'm behind you 1,000%, Debbie. I'm sending you a lot of positive vibes and strength. A couple of things in the days that followed September 11th, like day 2, day 3, and day 4. Day 2, 3, and 4, what stood out in my mind most, especially on day 2. Day 2 was very, very emotional because we knew the enormity of what we had in the daylight. When the first daylight came after September 11th, the very first daylight, we were able to see the enormity of the disaster. The enormity of the disaster. Don't forget, in the first 24 hours, we were getting reports that thousands of firemen and thousands of police and thousands of civilians were dead. So we were looking at 10,000 plus casualties. That's what the talk was within our departments and within the fire department, within the police department. There was all kinds of rumors of chiefs, big bosses, platoons of cops, platoons of firemen that were lost. So it was really, really like Jan and everybody, this was a war zone. This was a battlefield. It looked like something out of a battlefield. And it was surreal, and it was the next day in the broad daylight, in a beautiful, bright, sunny day. September 12th was also a nice day. It was clear blue skies, beautiful out, and when we got to the site, it really kicked in. But what stands out in my mind is the moms, the dads, the people, the civilians, the women, the men who were there with gallon jugs of water, pouring them over our heads at the site as we were doing the bucket brigade. And we were doing the bucket brigade, removing the debris little bit by little bit. And it was just chaos because pieces of buildings from the surrounding buildings were falling off, and there were shifts in the pile. I worked that pile for a good 4 days. 3 or 4 days. It felt like a week, but we worked that pile on the bucket brigade. Unbelievable. It was just mass chaos. But it was frightening because you were stepping around voids. 1 or 2 people who I know fell into those voids and were rescued. But when you would look down, you couldn't see anything but smoke coming up and a lot of heat. So there was voids that were 20, 30 feet. And if you fell down one of them or slipped and fell, you would be doomed. I also remember looking around me and thinking, if those parts of that gaping hole in the Deutsche Bank building, Century 21 was across the way, but the Deutsche Bank building was a dark building right where I was. If those parts and different pieces of debris and airplane parts that were hanging out of those buildings, if they were to fall down on us, I had nowhere to run. So day 2, I was just looking around and like saying to myself, this is going to be the spot where they find me dead, crushed from parts and pieces that were falling off the buildings. So things were crazy. There was a fire department big boss that was involved in looking. He was we were working on the pile, and he was standing up on a higher level. They must have got him up there by a bucket truck. They got him up on a higher part of the pile, and he was looking all around. And if he saw something or heard something that wasn't good, he would hit an air horn. And when he would hit the air horn, we would all have to try to find solid ground. So there would be air horns being blown. We would either stop and just look around, we were just like sitting ducks. So it was like sitting ducks. Marcy, good to see you. Thank you for checking in. So there was a period of that was very, very stressful. We were breathing in toxic fumes. We were breathing in the toxic dust. We were exposed to a lot of carcinogens through that site there. We were reassured by the governor of New Jersey, Christine Todd Whitman. She was the New Jersey governor, a female by the name of Christine Todd Whitman. She told all of the first responders and everybody that was down there, don't forget crane operators, welders, steel workers, heavy equipment operators, machinists, welders, all different kinds of trade people got involved in this cleanup and rescue, the recovery part. They were all afflicted by this. They are dying to this day of 9/11 related cancers. So there was people from out of town, from all over the country, all over the United States that were responding down there. I told you guys that many days later I brought my family because I lost my cousin, my first cousin, Ralph Licardi. He was killed in the World Trade Center as a Local 3 electrician. He was killed in the second building that got hit in Building 2. On the 105th floor, he worked for P.E. Stone. It was an electric company, and he was a Local 3 journey foreman. So he had 7 years on the job, and it was only his second day at the World Trade Center. He left behind a 3-year-old, an 18-month-old, and a newborn. He had babies back to back with his wife, and they had 2 little babies, and just terrible, terrible situation. So, you know, we were told that the air quality was good down there. We were told that the air quality was good and it was okay, and that wasn't the case. So everybody got a little bit of false, sense of security, false sense of that it was okay. So we were told a lot of different things that weren't so. There you go. Rest in peace, my cousin Ralph. May he rest in peace. So a lot of craziness went on, a lot of misinformation, but there was still a job to be done by the first responders. There was a job to be done by the police, the fire, and all of the heavy equipment people and all the different trades. There was trades and different people from the MTA, from the Housing Authority, from the NYPD, FDNY, the Office of Emergency Management. I could go on and on and on about all the agencies from the federal government all the way through the state into the local New York City. New York City government is the largest municipality. New York City is the largest municipality in the world. It's the largest municipal police department in the world. It's the largest government-run municipality. So everybody from the water department to the sanitation to the fire to all of the different lines of service were out there. Transit authority, school safety, the court officers. I mean, I could just keep going, guys. I could just keep going until probably talk 10, 15 minutes about just the different agencies that had a hand in on the World Trade Center, guys. So New York City detectives, the greatest detectives in the world, we were down there. We were in charge of securing the site, doing the investigation. It was a combination of asbestos and a combination of different toxic chemicals from burning office supplies, desks, plastics, wires. It was a combination of everything. Asbestos, lymphoma and lung-related cancers, brain cancer. There's about 15 or 20 different World Trade Center-related cancers that are covered by the federal government. And I have personal friends who I knew personally who became sick after 9/11 and have gotten cancer and are no longer with us. So it's a long laundry list of cancers. My skin cancer is considered World Trade Center related. It's covered under the World Trade Center Health Registry. If you go to WTC.org, you go to World Trade Center Health Program and you click under 9/11 related cancers, all of them will come up. You'll see a whole list of them. So if anybody's interested in seeing some of the afflictions that the first responders like myself and the fire department, the EMS, and all the line organizations, these are all cancers that are afflicting the brave men and women who served that day. When we as a country looked at the TV screen and went like this and turned away or screamed and were in shock, we were the guys and girls that went down there and dealt with the situation at hand. We could not turn our back we could not run away from it. When people were running away from those buildings, there was cops and firemen running into them. So, you know, the bravery that exists within the police and fire and EMS and all, there was many civilians that were down there, were very brave people who were running in and helping people in and out of the building. Ramon Suarez, who was a New York City police officer, who was killed down there, I think saved around 200 people. Around 200 people he was credited with saving outside of the building. I kept hearing on the news that you guys were safe and air quality. I told my husband at the time I did not believe it. Jan, Christine Todd Whitman, the governor of New Jersey. Okay, Mark. The governor of New Jersey at the time made a statement on TV and said the air quality down there is safe. The air quality is safe for everybody to breathe. And that was not the case. That was not the case. Sadly, that was not the case. Joey, are we holding up okay with the signal? Is there any buffering that everybody was talking about, or are we copacetic here on the signal? I hope it is holding up. I'm on my home Wi-Fi, and it is really strong where I am. So should be no buffering, should be nothing going on. Thank you for that, Matt. I appreciate that. How is your mom doing? Is mom feeling a little bit better, Matty boy? How is she doing? What's going on with her? I'd like to know if there's any updates on mom. Yes, it was very thick. And for the first 2 days, all I had was a paper mask that I took out of an ambulance that was damaged at the location. So I took out a paper mask, and that's all I wore for the first 2 days. And then we were issued you know, respirators or whatever with the two round things or whatever. So, and we couldn't even use those because you couldn't breathe when you were doing the bucket removal of all the debris. It was very exerting. You know, you had to exert a lot of energy. You were sweating, you were breathing heavy, and when you had that breathing apparatus on, you could barely breathe. So I remember most of us had it up on the top of our heads, on the top of the heads. I was on the Burger King. I was at the Burger King. Dylan, I went through that temporary headquarters that they set up before they set it up as a headquarters. When we first responded there and spent the whole night there, we went through that Burger King and we went behind the counter. We were trying to get like water. We were trying to get water to wash our faces off, but nothing was working. All the pipes were nothing was working. We had to go like 2 blocks away. We walked to the New York Stock Exchange, and I remember going in the stock exchange. And what stood out about what was going on at the stock exchange is all the brokers, all the stockbrokers were all getting ready for their day, right? Well, they all stripped their coats off and threw their jackets on the floor, their trading jackets with their badges on them and their names. I remember seeing those things all over the floor, and they just left it and ran. There was wallets, there was cell phones, there was all kinds of stuff that was abandoned in the stock exchange. So all these stockbrokers ran away. They just ran out of there. Instead of staying in the buildings, they were worried that we were under attack. So everybody just got out of there and ran as far away as they could and tried to go over the Brooklyn Bridge. They tried to get over any of the crossings that they could get over, but everybody tried to get as far away from the World Trade Center once they knew that it was confirmed that 2 planes struck the buildings. So mass chaos in lower Manhattan. It was just a nightmare, guys. And it was very, very surreal. Very, very surreal. Like I said, when I do the full 1-hour broadcast, there'll be a lot more details. Some of the details, you know, some of the ladies and guys in here might not want to hear because they're a little graphic. Some of the details are graphic, but I'm going to consolidate it, and I'm not going to be disrespectful to the people who are no longer with us. But some of the things that I dealt with at the location and for the days, weeks, and months that were ahead of me were not pleasant, to say the least. They were not pleasant. some of the recoveries that were made, some of the things that we saw. They don't haunt me. I can't say they don't haunt me. They are not haunting me, but they are definitely in my mind. It's stuff that I'll never forget. I don't have nightmares. I'm one of the lucky few who has no PTSD related symptoms from it. As of this time right now, I have no symptoms of PTSD, thank God. I'm a very strong-minded person, and I'm one of the lucky ones because I know many others who have been right side by side with me that have had a lot of symptoms, a lot of anxiety, a lot of PTSD, a lot of survivor guilt. There's a lot of things that men and women who have responded to this World Trade Center attack have been afflicted with, all the way down to drinking problems and things of that nature. Drug abuse, using painkillers to numb the pain, different medical issues, but a higher percentage is drinking problems and trying to drown out the anxiety and some of the stress from related to the World Trade Center attack. Yes, I did respond, Joey Wilson. I was at the World Trade Center in '93 and in 2001 for both World Trade Center attacks. New York City police officer from the years of 1991 all the way up into past 2011. So I did quite a few years on patrol and then a great deal of time in the Detective Bureau. So in the Detective Bureau is when World Trade Center happened and I responded to the location under the auspice of the Detective Bureau. So that's what my 24, just a small summation of it. I feel fortunate and blessed, Jan. I feel fortunate and blessed, but it was a difficult at best situation. Hello, RD. Good to see you. Thank you for coming into the broadcast. I will be in South Florida in 2 weeks. On the 24th, there is a memorial service for Steve from Florida. I will be down in South Florida. So for any of the YouTubers or Periscope people that live in on the southeast coast of Florida, from Boca Raton down to Miami, that little cluster right there from South Florida, if anybody's in that general vicinity, maybe as high as Port St. Lucie. So Port St. Lucie is where the Mets spring training is. So I'll be going to Port St. Lucie and then all the way down to Miami. So if you're anywhere within that line and you want to connect with me or have an adult beverage or hang out, you're more than welcome to hit me up on my email at dutyron. Hello, Slots Lover. Good to see you, 7373. Thank you so much for joining. Always great to have you in on my broadcast. So, guys, I'm going to end this broadcast now. I want to wish you guys a great evening. I want to just say I'm going into work tonight, so I've got a lot of research that I got to do, a lot of things that I'm going to do. So I'm going to be perusing around on YouTube tonight and Periscope, but I got some research of some things I got to do. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be live, but if I do go live, it will be an impromptu live. So if you're new, subscribe to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. Please share it out. Hit the notification button. Let me know also on the emails if you have show ideas. Let me know what you want to see me do on a new show. Joe, thank you for your suggestions in the email. Cup of Joe sent me a couple of show ideas. So please let me know what you want to see in the future from me on any particular cases or any kind of format on my shows going forward. I'll always be here to answer questions back and forth. Thank you, Jan. I appreciate that. I'll always be here to answer questions. Steve was a very good friend of mine, and that's the things that good friends do if you're able to do it. America's love is still with New York City. Thank you so much. Hi, Cecilia. How are you? So let me know if you have any show ideas. My email is dutyron@aol.com. It's a simple one. I've had it for like 30 years, that email address. I'm not even kidding. I've had that email address for legit about 30 years. So dutyron@aol.com. Thank you, Mark. If you have any suggestions or questions or comments,
send them to me in the email. Don't send them in the comment section underneath the video. I appreciate all the comments. I like the comments. But if you have something personal that you'd like to talk to me about, dutyron@aol.com. Thank you, RD. If you have something personal or a long thing that you want to send it to me on my email, not in the comments section. But the comments are always welcome. You're always welcome to give me comments on the videos. I try to answer as many of the comments, like 99.9%. I'll give an answer to comments. Send me stuff in the comments. Let me know what you think, how I'm doing. Give me a thumbs up on the video. That's always greatly appreciated. Let me just check and see what's going on here with that. Yeah, we got some guys and gals in here giving the thumbs up. Let me know what you think. And I'm always interacting with you guys and trying to give you the very stuff that you want to see. The nature broadcast, hello Nabul, good to see you, Pitbull. The nature broadcasts, the going out to the ponds and bringing you some of the peaceful spots in New York, that's just an additive to our crime situation, me talking about crime cases. I'm also going to update, thank you, Jan. Cup of Joe is sending me question marks with the thumbs up. I'm also going to be adding an update on the Karina Vetrano case. You guys see that I did a small piece. I did a small broadcast and a piece on Karina Vetrano. She was a jogger here in Howard Beach, Queens, who was brutally raped and beaten to death August 2nd of 2016. It was a huge newsworthy case all over the media, and I covered that case. I'm going to go into details on the updates on that case coming up soon. I'm going to give you guys some details as they become available. I'm not going to go live if there's just similar stuff. I don't want to just reiterate old news. So as I get it, Tom, thank you. Hey, and Tom, congratulations on your retirement. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the retirement club, Tom. Kick your feet up, have yourself a nice cold one, and enjoy the second half. Enjoy the second half of life. So stay tuned for some more exciting broadcasts at Duty Ron. Please give him the thumbs up, says Joey. And everybody in here, I know there's not a lot of us today, but everybody that's in here, you guys are all valuable to me, and I greatly appreciate and respect your time. Follow Joey, Joey BKLYN _67. He's right there in the chat. You can follow Joey right there. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you, Joe. Joey Wilson, thank you for the thumbs up. Susan, thank you for the thumbs up. Guys, put the comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think, and I will talk to you on the next video. I'll take any questions real quick before I segue off. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know what you want to talk about here real quick. So I'll give a couple of minutes for some questions and comments, because I feel like I was talking your ear off on this broadcast. But it was just meant to touch the surface on my September 11th, first 24 hours. Anybody got anything, or we're good? There's Nabul. There's Nabul. Joey's channel, there's the link. Follow Nabul from south of France, too. Subscribe to Nabul. He's a great guy. These are all great ones in here. All the people that are in here are great ones. Can you talk about the many great things the NYPD does for the community? Yeah, Joe. There's tons of after-school programs. The Police Athletic League. We have a ton of community affairs officers that are assigned to every precinct and every command. So there's so much good stuff that goes on between the police and the public. We have community policing. Our community police officers go out into the businesses, into the neighborhoods, and actually get out there and speak to the people. They go inside the businesses, they talk to the business owners, they go into community centers and hang out with the kids. There's a ton of good things that go on with the New York City Police Department. Susan says, I will never get tired of hearing you, Ron. Much respect for you. Enjoy my videos. Thank you so much for those kind words. Do they still play? They do play. They do play. Even interview community affairs officer. I could do things like that, Joey. I could do things like that. I have a really good friend who I field trained. She was a rookie when I was on patrol, getting ready to leave patrol. And I was a field training officer, and I trained this girl. She's still in community affairs. She's a first grade detective in community affairs. She has probably close to 20 years on the job. But I could call her and I could get her on here, and she will yap away about the programs that the NYPD has to offer. So I might work on that really soon and get her to come in on one of my broadcasts. That would be fantastic. I'd even like to take her out to lunch. So I'd like to get her live, like sitting side by side with me. I have the wide angle camera from, this is the camera I bought, guys. This is a Logitech a Pro. This is a Logitech Pro, and it's got a wide angle camera lens on the front. I don't know why I still have that on there, but it's brand new. I just got it, and this is what I use when I use my Streamlabs and my desktop. I'm broadcasting from my iPhone today, so no desktop from me today. I'm doing straight from the phone. So this quality that we're getting right now is just straight from the phone with my Wi-Fi. So it's a good one. It's a good connection. But anyways, so that's it for now. I'm going to segue off. I appreciate each and every one of you coming on in. Thank you, Matt, for the super chat. I greatly appreciate that, Sully. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for your friendship and your service. Greatly, greatly appreciate that, Matt. Everybody, please support Matt. He doesn't really broadcast that much here on YouTube. Hopefully, we can get him to do some YouTube. But he is a great supporter and does broadcast on Periscope. So go check him out on Periscope. Oh my God, I wasn't actually going to send that question, and I bumped the, I didn't even see it. I was just scrolling back to it. What was the question that you sent anyways? I hate when people retract the question. Was the question bad? Did anybody see it, Joey? I don't think it was bad. It's okay, I deleted it. Well, I would have liked to have seen it, but that's okay. We saw some of New York's fine police officers on Joey's YouTube. Yes, just a short while ago. Joey is always all around. He's always out and about. Thank you, Joey. I know you're my director of security. Joey, don't be afraid. My new friend, Joey, don't be afraid to send questions to me. If I can't answer them, I'll tell you right away. I'll delve into the 9/11 conspiracies. I think they're a bunch of nonsense, and that's my opinion. I don't make fun of people who think it or believe in it, but I, as a person who was there firsthand, I know some of my fire friends who actually saw the planes crashing into the building. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. When we had airplane engine parts that were recovered on the ground, I personally saw wheels of the airplane on another building, but I have friends who are personal friends of mine that actually saw the buildings being hit by these planes. So I say to the people who come up with these conspiracy theories that the government blew the buildings up and all this craziness, I tell them that I don't believe it, but I don't make fun of it. I don't dog them. I don't say that they're crazy. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and everybody's entitled to think whatever they want. So I won't speak about it. You'll never get me to engage you in a back and forth about conspiracy theories, because this is exactly what I would tell you, that I was there and I know that it was not something that was planned by the government, and that's my opinion. That's my opinion. So we're all entitled to them, and all I ask is here that we don't disrespect anybody that comes on and that makes a comment about them. They're free to say whatever they want without malice, without being rude or coming on and trying to, make a statement and then just leave. If anybody does that, they'll wind up just getting blocked. They'll just be getting blocked from my broadcast. So anyways, that is the situation without me going deep into it. There's a lot of moving parts that are involved in some of the people's thinking. So, I also have done, I did a broadcast about the Las Vegas shooting, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories out about the Las Vegas shooting, and that the government they were up in helicopters and shooting all those poor people. And that too is from me, just me. These are my opinions. It's for me. I laugh at those conspiracy theories because they're ridiculous. But that's all I'll say about it. I won't go on to say that they're crazy people. They're entitled to their opinions, but I just don't engage in that. And that's just my prerogative. That's what's great about being an American. That's what's great about me being able to control your broadcast and control the tempo of what goes on when you're live. But if they would want to go live and speak about it, they're welcome to light up a broadcast on YouTube and speak all they want about it. Tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern for more conversation. Look for Duty Ron tonight at 11 o'clock over here on YouTube. So Matt, thank you so much for the super chat. Jan, look out for, I'll look out for emails from you guys. Please send me your name, your address, so I can send you the police card. That is this to each and every one of you who sent super chat to me. It's a commemorative 2019 detective's card with the police shield, with the detective shield, American flag, and the New York City Police Department patch. So it's a really good collector's item for each and every one of you. It's my way of saying thanks. It's not in any way, shape, or form a gift. All it is my way of saying thank you for helping me get monetized on YouTube. So it's just a limited time. I won't be able to do it for too long because I only have a certain amount of these things. So I can't give out 100 of them. So thank you to each and every one of you for your super chat during this broadcast and for sharing with your followers on social media. That means a tremendous amount to me for you guys to share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all of that stuff. Take it with a grain of salt, Joey. The government, just so you know, the government is not here to harm us. I'm just going to let you know about that. The federal government, at least the Secret Service, the U.S. Marshals, all of our armed forces are here to protect us. They're not here to hurt us. They're not here to hurt us. I don't know. Let me look at that again. I have a law question. I know you're not a lawyer, but you may know certain attitudes on kinds of lawsuits. What do you feel about juries' attitudes and competence on lawsuits in probate matters? Spider, that's a whole nother. My opinions would be just my opinions because I don't have too much. I don't have too much data on probates, but I know there's a great part of our criminal justice system, and this in probates we're speaking about family matters, lawsuits, how things are delved down. That's a sticky situation, and sometimes it's fair and sometimes it's not. So I don't think any two cases are the same, but I'm not an expert on it, so I don't feel comfortable even giving you my opinion on it. But there's a lot of work to do in our court system. It's not perfect. From family court to landlord tenant to matrimonial to domestic violence court to criminal court to Supreme Court, all the way up the line. There is imperfections and there's flaws. There's flaws in the whole system. So there's work to be done. I don't know if it'll ever get changed, or it's been many years and things just don't seem to change. So I don't know what to say about that. That's the best answer to your question, Spider, that I could give you because I don't really have a lot of data on it. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate that. If you do broadcasting or anything of that nature, I will subscribe to your channel. I'll go look at it at least. Everybody that subscribes to me, I try to take a look at what they're doing. And even if you don't broadcast, I do subscribe sometimes, and I hit the notification just in case you upload something and you're feeling a little frisky and you get into it. So I like to try to subscribe to as many people as I can. I know about probate, but I don't have a lot of experience in that. I don't have experience with it. It's really unbeknownst to me. It's unbeknownst to me. So again, I don't like to comment or get involved in a conversation where I don't have a lot of data. I don't have a lot of data on that. I do have videos. I just don't broadcast. That's okay. That's okay. So if you upload stuff, I'd like to see it. So I'm gonna subscribe to you right now, Joey, so I can check it out. Joey's got 17 subscribers. Now you got 18. Sorry, but now you got 18. So too bad. Duty Ron, subscribe to your channel now. I'm gonna hit the notification, and we'll see what you got going on. No pressure. No pressure. But you know. Yeah, it is kind of rotten. It is kind of rotten when people take advantage of families who, are left with a certain amount of money, or there's no surviving next of kin, and they try to. That to me that's a crime in itself. It should be a crime. It should be a crime, in my eyes. In my eyes, that should be a crime. But I'm sure these jagaloons figure out ways to get through it and get a loophole to where they can get around it and legally have it work in their. Don't forget, people are lawyers that are in the field. They know the wiggle rooms. They know the wiggle room that they have, and some of them are heartless people. So. Look at what happened to this guy, the DJ. For some of my younger people, what is his name? Avicii or Vinci? What was that kid's name? Tim something. Berglander or the famous DJ killed himself on April 20th last year with a bottle or something in the middle of nowhere. He was suffering from depression and anxiety. He was a famous DJ with the youngins. He did all these EDC concerts and all that stuff. I got to get his name because now it's bothering me. I think it's Tim Berlinger. I think I'm right about that. But look at what happened to him. The guy was worth a ton of money. He was worth a ton of money, and all the people around him didn't give two flying shits that he was suffering from anxiety. All they wanted was his money. They wanted him to make money. I know the one you're talking about, Avicii. Yes. Let me see. Avicii. I don't think that's how it's pronounced, but oh yeah, here we go. This kid. This guy right here. Here's some Stockholm. Right? The kid was a phenomenon. I would love to play his music, but I can't play it. So it's okay. I'm subscribed. Don't worry about it. So this kid has a ton of great music that he created. He was very talented, but he was very young. And his manager, I was right, Tim Berglinger. Thank you, Amir. His manager just wanted to make money off him. All the people around him just wanted him to make them money. He told them that he was suffering from anxiety. He was having a hard time, performance anxiety disorder. He started drinking. He had pancreatitis. He got all messed up medically. He was in the hospital in Australia. They were pushing him to do the shows because it made them money. And they pushed him. Finally, he retired, and he got into such a depression, he killed himself. Just April, I think it was April 20th or April 18th of 2018. Thank you, Amir. So he killed himself because people around him didn't care. They were vicious, blood-sucking leeches. They wanted his money. They wanted him to make money so they could make money. And they didn't care about his mental health. And that's what I feel caused this kid to take his own life. So really, really sad, man. Very, very sad, guys. Spider says, I was left at the state. Elderly friend, 20 plus years, and the old family attorney tried to forge a will. Wow, that's crazy. She left me millions, and now I'm in court. Well, I hope you get what was coming to you, and I hope it goes your way. Wishing you nothing but luck on that, Spider. Sounds horrible. Sounds like a horrible story. He used a lot of painkillers. It was a suicide. I know it was a suicide, Amir, but if he had the right people around him that cared about him and that told him, hey, it's okay, we'll take a year, we'll take 2 years off, we'll take 10 months off. I know he took off 2 months or 3 months. That wasn't enough time for him. They should have told him, we have enough money, you could sustain yourself on the money that you've earned and all the royalties. Don't worry about it. You don't have to perform. You take as much time as you want. If there was someone around him like me or my type of attitude, he would still be alive today because I would have took care of him and told him, You don't need to do this shit. You could just live off the money that you've earned. We'll make investments. You get royalties from all your music, his songs. His YouTube video, his Vemvo or Vivo video had 2 billion views. 2 billion before he died. He had a video on Vemvo or whatever it's called, Vivo, 2 billion views. Not million, billion. Before he died. The kid was he was like a phenom in the EDC, electro, dance. He was a phenomenon. Madonna introduced him at the EDC concert. I forgot what they call it, down in Miami. He was in Vegas. He went all over the world. And he was discovered by somebody on Facebook. Some guy on Facebook, a promoter, sent him a direct message, a DM on Facebook, and he promoted him and got him to the level he is. And he's also the one who wound up seeing this kid kill himself because of his greed. Greed, money, money, money. Money does really funny things to people. It makes people really fucking crazy. So I feel really bad for this kid. But anyways, let me go. I got to get out of here. I got to talk to you guys all very soon. Spider, if you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe. Yeah, it sounds like a terrible thing. Send me an email at dutyron@aol.com, dutyron@AOL, if you want to continue the conversation. I got to go, guys. Love and respect from each and every one of you guys to each and every one of you from me. So I'll speak to you soon. Exactly, Joey. Money is the root of all evil.